Hello children, how are you all? In the previous science class, we started the lesson food and health, isn't it? Yes. In that what we learned children? About nutrients and also balanced diet, right? How many nutrients are there? 5, right? 5 main nutrients. What are those? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. Right children? Have you remembered all those? Yes. And today in this class we are going to learn about diseases. What is the next topic in this lesson children? About diseases. Before going to this topic children, you have to know some important words. Understood? What are those? Those are, first one, health. Do you know the meaning of health children? Yes? Yes. What is the meaning of health then? Do you know? Look at here. If the person is physically means outside and mentally means inside, well-being means he is very perfect, then that person we call it as healthy person. What we call children? Healthy person. Nothing but both physically, okay, and mentally. Well-being means he is very perfect. Understood? Then we call it as healthy person. Understood? So if health is nothing but if the person is having both mentally and physically so strong and well-being, then that person is having health. If the health is there, then that person we call it as healthy person. Understood children? Now coming to another word, that is infected person. Nothing but children, if the person is not having health here, proper health. Understood? That means he is not at all having physically and mentally not perfect. Understood? Not, that means not at all well-being. If the person is not well-being, having something inside, feeling sick, then that person we call it as infected person. Understood? That means he is not at all feeling well. Understood? If the person is so well, perfect in his health, understood? Health means nothing but well-being. That health is there, then that person is healthy person. If the health is not good, understood, that person we call it as infected person. Then this infected person, okay, is having disease. Understood children? Infected person what is having? Inside nothing but disease. Understood? So this infected person also called diseased person. Understood? Infected person also called diseased person means something is there inside. He is not at all well-being. Got it children? Now coming to disease. Diseases are nothing but something is there, right? He is not at all perfect. The person is not at all perfect both mentally and physically, then that person is having disease, right? Now diseases are two types. Understood children? How many types? Two types. If the person is not well-being, okay, how he is getting disease, we'll see now, okay, one by one. First, diseases. Diseases are two types children. How the person is getting not well-being, okay, then how he is getting diseases. Diseases are mainly two types. How many types? Two types. First one, communicable disease. Communicable disease, okay. And second one, non-communicable. Non-communicable, okay, disease. There are two types of diseases children. One is communicable disease and another one is non-communicable disease. Disease is nothing but something is there inside. So that person is not at all feeling well. Understood? Now if the person is not feeling well, then he is having disease. So diseases are two types. Okay, communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. Now we'll see today in this class especially about communicable diseases. Okay, in the next class we'll see about non-communicable. First, what is communicable? Communicable means, do you know the meaning of communication? Communication means exchanging of views, means exchanging of something, right? Like we are talking with each other, right? That means that is communication. If one person is talking with another person, then we call it as communication, right children? if he is talking with so many people, then he is having communication skills. That means communication is nothing but, okay, saying something properly to some other. Understood? Or from one person to another person. Okay, the information is transferred from one person to another person, then we call it as communication. Like that, here communicable disease, nothing but from one person to another person, disease is a transfer. Understood? What is transfer here? Suppose one person is there and another person is there. Okay, if think he is a healthy person and he is infected person. Infected means having disease, right? Infected person. This person is having disease now. Okay, so disease is transferred from one person to another person, then the disease we call it as communicable disease. Understood, children? Got it? What is communicable disease? The disease is transferred from one person to another person. Understood? Here, non-communicable disease. Two persons are there here also. Okay, the person is having disease. This person is not at all transfer the disease to the other person. Means the disease not at all transfer, then that disease we call it as non-communicable disease. Understood, children? Got it? What is that? Communicable means if the disease is transferred from one person to another person, we call it as communicable diseases. Understood? Non-communicable diseases means the disease is not at all transferred from one person to another person. Shall I say some examples? Here, see here. Our coronavirus, right? Main example. Corona virus is transferred from one person to another person, isn't it? From infected person means if corona is there, corona person, okay, he is very near to another person, then what happens? It is transferred to that person, right, children? That's why we are not touching anything when we are going outside. We are wearing masks, right? And not touching person to person, maintaining some physical distance, right, children? Why all this? Because the disease is transferred from one person to another person. So coronavirus comes under this. What is this? This is communicable disease. Understood? Suppose another example. Here heart patient. Okay, heart patient means heart attack. That person is having some heart problem. Person is there. Can the person can transfer that heart problem to another person? No. So here the disease is not at all transferred, then the disease we call it as non-communicable disease. Okay, now we'll see only about communicable disease in this class, right, children? Now first one, in communicable diseases, children, we can see so many ways the disease is transferred from one person to another person. Suppose how the disease occurs. Tell me, do you know how? With what? Do you know? Some germs are there around us. Those are very, very small, very minute organisms. Those are called, you learn this one. What are those? We call microbes, right? So this is mainly caused by, right, children? Disease is caused by germs, right? Germs are nothing but, what are these? Microbes. Right, children? Microbes means microorganisms. This is nothing but microorganisms. Means the organism is very, very, very small. We can't see with our eyes. Can you see here? Suppose, okay, very small microbe is there. That microbe you cannot see with your eyes. That one we call it as microorganism. The organism that is moving. Understood? That one very small, very minute. Okay, that organism can able to move from one place to another place, but we cannot see. Okay, why we can't see that much small? Okay, that's why we call it as microorganism, or also called microbe. This microbe, okay, whichever that causes disease, That microbe we call it as germ. Remember, what is germ? Nothing but disease causing microbe. Understood children? Microbes are also, some are good for our health, some are bad, some are very very good, which are changing the milk into curd. Those curd, that curd we are eating, right? So we are not getting any disease. So some are good microbes, some are harmful. Harmful means it causes disease. Then that microbe we call it as germ. Understood? Remember this word. So disease, which microbes are causing diseases? Germs. Germs are nothing but microbes only. Those causes diseases. The microbes which are causing disease, we call it as germ. Understood children? Now these germs, okay, are there in the air. Understood? Where these germs are there? There in air, in the water, okay, surroundings, our surroundings, everywhere. We cannot say that this microbe is not there in this place. Everywhere these microbes are there, right? Here around us, so many millions of microbes will be there. Understood? So we cannot see those, but some are not at all causing any disease for us, but some only can cause this disease. Those are called germs. Understood children? Now see, suppose if you are eating any food item, if you left that food like that for few hours, then what happens? You are getting bad smell, right? Why we are getting bad smell? Do you know children? Because some, okay, some microbes start growing in that food and that makes him to spoil. Okay, means that one we call it as contaminated. Remember this word, contaminated. Contaminated means it is nothing but spoiled. Spoiled one we call it as contaminated. Understood? So some around us, some are spoiling, okay, naturally, because those their microbes are start growing. Understood? And if you take that spoiled food, okay, then what happens? You are getting stomach pain, okay, not well, right? We are not at all feeling well. Why? Because there's something happens inside, okay, falling sick. Then we call it as a disease, right children? So contaminated, right? So contaminated the air, contaminated the water, contaminated the surrounding, then we'll get disease. Understood children? That's why we have to clean our surroundings every day, right? If you are not cleaning properly, then what happens? Germs start growing. Germs are everywhere. They start growing. Understood? Some are useful, but some are so harmful. They are causing diseases. So spoiled and nothing but another meaning is contaminated. Remember, contaminated air, okay, contaminated water, contaminated food items also there. Understood? If you are living like that, suppose if you are not taking the water and you are living like that, then what happens? Their mosquitoes start growing in that. Means they are breeding. So that the water is contaminated. Not at all good. Have you seen drainage? There everywhere flies only there, right? Flies, mosquitoes. That is not at all good, right? We cannot drink that water. That water we call it as contaminated water. If the food is left like that for so many hours, that is contaminated food. If the air is there, suppose coronavirus is there. Contaminated air means from one person to another person, if he coughs, okay, coughs, sneeze, understood? Sneezes, right? Sneeze, coughs, okay, all these contaminates air, means those germs enter into the air. Got it children? So that air we call it as contaminated air. So if you stand beside that person, then the contaminated air if you inhale, then you will get the disease. Got it children? So we'll see now. See here, contaminated air, contaminated water, contaminated food. Okay, if you take, then you will get disease. Right? That disease what we call as a communicable disease. Right children? Now we'll see few examples of communicable diseases. Before that, children, prevention. Okay, another word. Prevention. Do you know the meaning of prevention, children? Not getting the disease. Okay. Prevention is nothing but, children, we are not at all getting any disease. We are very, very safe, okay, by taking some precautions. If you take some precautions, okay, then you won't get precautions, okay, not at all, not getting diseases, not get diseases, then we call it as prevention. Understood? But cure, another word. Cure means after getting disease, you are taking medicines, that one we call it as cure. Prevention means before only not getting disease, we are taking anything, precautions, then we call it as prevention. Suppose coronavirus is there outside, right? We are taking masks, right? That is nothing but a prevention. Not to get disease, okay? Not to get disease, then that one we call it as prevention. Cure means after getting corona, okay, taking medicines and taking rest, that one we call it as cure. Understood the difference between these two? Prevention means before, okay, before only taking some precautions to not to get disease. After getting disease, we are taking anything, then we call it as cure. Understood, children? Now, vaccination. Do you know the meaning of vaccination, children? Taking vaccines. The process of taking vaccine, we call it as vaccination. Okay. What is vaccine then? Do you know the meaning of vaccine, children? Nothing but, vaccine is nothing but, it is a small amount of, very, very small amount of germs. I said germs causes diseases, right? If you are taking a very minute, okay, germs, that too boiled, okay, boiled or killed germs into the body, then we call it as vaccine. Understood, children? That process we call it as vaccination. Got it? So here, symptom then. Symptom means, children, symptom is nothing but sign. See, after taking the vaccines, some children are getting fever, right? It is a symptom. Fever. Okay. Or any disease is there. Suddenly you are getting infected. Then you are getting so many signs. Signs means some, okay, coming out, showing. Those are nothing but symptoms. What we call, children? Symptoms. Okay. We'll see one by one for few diseases, communicable diseases especially. In this class we are going to learn about 6 diseases, children. One by one I will tell you. How many? 6. First one, flu. Okay. Flu is nothing but common cold. Common cold, we call it as flu. Okay. Next one is measles. Next in this, chicken pox. And malaria, cholera, and typhoid. These are all communicable diseases. What these are all, children? Nothing but communicable. Means disease can spread from one person to another person. Understood? Got it? The disease can spread from one person to another person, then that one we call it as communicable diseases. These are all communicable diseases. Okay, we'll see one by one. What are the symptoms? Symptoms means what I said. Symptoms means some signs. Symptoms means signs. Those are, okay, shown by the body. Got it? Like fever, vomitings, motions, right? We are also, if we are getting the common cold, suppose flu is there, common cold, then what happens, tell me? Running nose, always running nose, okay, cough, sneezes, right, children? And fever, headache, body pains, all these are all what we call symptoms. Understood? Those are nothing but signs, right, children? And communicable diseases, right? here these are the communicable diseases, right? One by one we'll see with the pictures also, right? Now here flu, measles, cholera. Okay, these two are caused by the virus and this one is the bacteria. Cholera is by bacteria. These two are caused by flu and measles are caused by virus and cholera is caused by bacteria. Now coming here, chickenpox, malaria and typhoid. These diseases, chickenpox is caused by bacteria, malaria is caused by protozoa, right? And typhoid is also bacteria, right children? These are caused by virus, bacteria and protozoa. Those are all microbes, harmful microbes, causes diseases, right? These are the diseases. Now we'll see one by one symptoms and prevention. Symptoms means signs shown by the body, then that one we call it as a symptom, I said, right? So here some symptoms, okay, I'll show those pictures also children. Look at here, first one. Flu is not having, flu symptoms are nothing but cold and cough. Cough, you know, running nose, always nose is running, means coming down, right? That is nothing but running nose. And fever, body pain, headache, all those are flu symptoms. Flu is nothing but common cold, right children? So those are the symptoms. And prevention is nothing but taking a plenty of fluids, okay, and also taking rest. So that we won't get any disease. Mainly coronavirus also. If you are taking hot water, okay, then we won't get hot water. Some precautions if you take, then you won't get coronavirus, right children? Like wearing mask, right, maintaining a distance. So flu is nothing but common cold caused by virus. Now coming to measles. Measles are, I'll show you a picture for you. Look at here. Measles are occurred during at the age of early age. Early age means at the time of childhood, right children? See, the boy is getting the reddish spots are there on the body, right? That means this is one kind of a measles. Okay, measles is caused by the virus, right? So the symptoms are reddishness in the eyes also, right? See here, running nose, cold, reddishness in the eyes. Same like cold, right? Running nose, reddishness on the body, spots, those are, and rashes, those are called rashes, okay? And weight loss, body is so, weight is lost. Why? Because not taking food properly at the time. So these are the symptoms of measles, right children? And how to prevent? No specific cure is not there, means no perfect, we cannot specifically say, just we need to take rest, okay, bed rest at the time of measles, taking bed rest and taking plenty of fluids, right children? Next coming to another one, cholera. I'll show you the cholera. Cholera is caused by the bacteria. Look at here, this is the picture of bacteria. Cholera is caused by the bacteria. See, mainly to the contaminated. Contaminated means spoiled, I said, right? Spoiled food and water. Okay. Then from that only we are getting disease. Symptoms are look at here children. Motions, okay. Vomitings, motions. These are all the symptoms. So you need to take medicines, okay, and drink plenty of water. See, during the time of motions and vomitings, what we lost from the body? Nothing but liquids, right? Vomitings and motions also liquid like loose, right children? So that one we call it as diarrhea. Diarrhea means both vomitings and motions. So cholera is having diarrhea. Dehydration. Dehydration means losing water from the body. Okay, if you lost so much water from the body, then we call it as a dehydration, right children? So what are the symptoms? Vomitings, diarrhea means both vomitings and motions, I understood, and dehydration means loss of water from the body, right? So these are all symptoms of cholera, right? Next, prevention means what we have to take? We have to take plenty of fluids and taking bed rest, right children, and also taking some medicines for those. Next, coming to chickenpox. I show that picture also for chickenpox children. Before that I showed one picture of measles. For children only measles will occur, but for adults if they occur like this, then this one we call it as chickenpox. Chickenpox looks like this children, okay. Those are very rashes. Those are also rashes, right? Now if you look at here, the symptoms are fever, headache. For that person also completely taking rest. Understood? Fever, headache, rashes. If they, do you know, if they scratch means doing like this, then what happens? The germs enter into these, okay, nails, and if the person is touching another one, then this disease is spreading from one person to another person. All these diseases are spreading from one person to another person. Here, virus is spreading from one person to another person by coughing, okay, in the air, contaminated air. And in the measles also, here also same. That small boy, okay, with the one person to another person touches, then the measles occurs. And cholera also, contaminated food and water, so that if the person takes another person also taking the same water, then he is getting cholera. Got it? Healthy person. And chicken pox also, if wearing the clothes, okay, that cloth or anything, if they are touching, the infected person touches, that one, if any healthy person touches, then they got that chicken pox also. Okay, this is mainly during the time of adults, means not children. Okay, during the time of adults, the children also will get, but few, but morely adults will attack this chicken pox, right children? And here vaccines, they have to take vaccine at the earlier age. Okay, means during the time of childhood, means before the age 10, then they take the vaccines, means that chicken pox won't get, right? Next, malaria. Malaria is caused by the protozoa. Remember, very very important. I'll show that picture, children. Malaria is mainly caused by mosquito, children. Mosquito, it is a carrier. Means it transfers from one person to another person the germs. Look at here. I'll show you a picture for you. This is the malaria mosquito. Okay. This mosquito name is Anopheles mosquito. Okay. What is the malaria causing mosquito? Name Anopheles mosquito. This mosquito carries the, okay, it sucks the infected person's blood. Blood contains germs. Those germs are, okay, taken by this mosquito into the stomach of the mosquito. After that, this person, okay, look at here, infected person. Okay, if the infected person is taken by the blood by the mosquito, the germs are passing, and if this mosquito bites the another healthy person, then this person is getting the, okay, malaria disease. Have you understood, children, how the one person to another person it transfers? Because of the mosquito. Got it? So, if the mosquito bites, okay, infected person, diseased person, malaria disease person is having protozoa, okay, in the blood. That blood is sucked by the mosquito. If the mosquito passes to the another person and bites the healthy person, then those, okay, germs are there in the mosquito, enters into the healthy person and gets that malaria disease. Got it, children? And symptoms are fever, chills like that, okay, and sweats, continuous sweats, headache, body pains, everywhere, body pains, malaria, okay, fever, nothing but malaria fever, right? Right, children? And what is the prevention then? You should not, okay, get bite with the mosquito, so that we need to use mosquito nets, right? During the bedtime, we need to use mosquito nets, okay, and also mosquito repellents, means all out, right? You know, right? Good night, all those we are using at the night time, not to bite the mosquitoes, to move away the mosquitoes, right, children? So those, if you are, so mosquito only causes the malaria disease from one person to another person. So it is comes under communicable disease, right, children? Next, coming to typhoid. Typhoid is also fever. Here malaria is a fever, typhoid is also fever. Typhoid is caused by mainly bacteria. Here malaria is caused by protozoa, microbe, but here typhoid is caused by bacteria. Understood? And here the symptoms same like headache, fever, both are fevers, right? Headache, fever, body pain, diarrhea. Here in the typhoid we will see diarrhea. Diarrhea means both vomitings and motions. So more amount of water is lost from the body, dehydration. Understood in the case of typhoid, right, children? And the symptoms, we need to take boiled water. That's why contaminated water causes this disease. If you are taking contaminated food and water, then this fever will get. Understood, children? That's why we need to take, what is the precaution? Boiled water, right? So that you won't get. And also oily foods. Some are taking oily foods, spicy foods, right? Those foods, if you are keeping like that, then that is spoiled, and we are taking that one, and your stomach upset, all those, and causes this fever also, typhoid. Understood? It leads to the typhoid fever also. Got it, children? So mainly bacteria causes typhoid. So here these are all the communicable diseases. Have you understood up to here? Yes. Children, I'll show you a small video. Watch that video.
Means both the mind and the body must be completely fit for a person to be considered healthy. Proper food, diet, rest, exercise, and correct posture are essential for staying healthy. Diseases. A disease is a state in which a function or part of the body is no longer in a healthy condition. Diseases can occur due to improper diet, lack of rest or exercise, or lack of cleanliness. However, diseases can also occur due to other reasons. In general, diseases are of two types, non-communicable and communicable diseases. Diseases are those that can spread from one person to another. They are generally caused by germs. Germs are disease-causing microbes, spreading germs through direct contact. When an infected person coughs or sneezes, the germs causing the disease are released into the air and can infect a healthy person. Food and water that have been left uncovered attract flies. Flies carry germs on their bodies and pass them on to the uncovered food and water when they sit on them. Mosquitoes and some other insects can transmit germs through their bite. When a mosquito bites a person infected with malaria, it sucks in germs along with the blood. Let us have a look on some communicable diseases. Common cold, cough, sore throat, runny nose, fever. Regular hand washing and keeping away from the infected person. Pneumonia, cough, fever, shaking, chills, and shortness of breath. Treatment with antibiotics. Tuberculosis, fever, chills, night sweats, loss of appetite, weight loss, weakness, continued cough, chest pain. Treatment with antibiotics. Antibiotics. Substances that can kill disease-causing organisms. Preventive communicable diseases. Hygiene may be defined as practices that help to ensure cleanliness and good health. We should eat clean and healthy food. We should not eat uncovered food from roadside vendors. We should wash our hands, brush our teeth, and bathe daily. We should always eat food from clean utensils and clean hands. We should not drink unclean water. We should not allow water to collect in and around our homes. Mosquitoes breed in stagnant water. We should keep our surroundings clean to control flies. We should throw garbage in dust bins. We should stay away from infected people as much as possible. Some communicable diseases can also be prevented by vaccination. Vaccination is the use of special substances called vaccines to prevent specific diseases. Vaccines help to build up resistance in the body. Most vaccines are given to children when they are very young.
Have you watched the video, children? Is it clear now? Yes. Now we'll revise once today's class, okay? Tell me now bits, okay? First one, dash can prevent communicable disease. Communicable disease. Transfer from one person to another person. How can we prevent? Prevent means we won't get. How, children? By taking, what is that? Vaccine, right? So what we call that one? Vaccination. What we call? Vaccination. So vaccination means nothing but taking vaccines. So taking vaccines can prevent communicable diseases. Transfer from one person to another person. Won't transfer. Okay. If you take vaccine. Next, typhoid is a dash disease. Typhoid comes under which disease I said? Communicable. If you are taking polluted means contaminated, spoiled food and water. That spoiled food and water, how many members can take? Those many members are getting typhoid. So can transfer through water, polluted water and food. Right, children? So it is a communicable disease, right? Next, malaria is caused by, malaria is a disease. It is caused by what? It is a microbe. What is that? Protozoa, right? Caused by protozoa and carried by, which is carried from one person to another person, which is carrying malaria disease? Mosquito, right? Mosquito. Mosquito is also in that mosquito, children. Anopheles mosquito. Mosquito name is Anopheles. Okay, mosquito. Remember. Okay. Have you understood up to here? Right, children? In the next class, we'll learn about non-communicable diseases. Right? Until then, take care. Bye.